Good morning here today. It's a crappy day here in Hanoi. It's 5:30 a.m. Anyway, it's a bad day, but I'm gonna get out there and make it a good day. I'm gonna take out this Olympus OM-3. This was loaned to me by Olympus. They reached out and said, hey, would you be interested in checking out my camera? I said, you know what, why not? They haven't been on my radar in a long time. I remember the Olympus pen. I had friends who raved about it. I never used it, but I thought, why not? Something I don't often do. Hard to get me gear in Vietnam. That's another reason I don't do that a lot. It's just shipping's difficult here. But I was in the US, they sent me this, and I said, let me test it out. It's a retro style digital camera, has some cool film emulations. You know me, I'm not like a specs guy. I'm not gonna talk a lot about that. I'm gonna use this camera, I'm gonna look at the pictures afterwards. I'm gonna come back here, show you the pictures, and give you my honest take on it. So we're here, but we can't drive to where we want to go, right? So we're taking a little boat across this little river. It's supposed to be like somewhat weather sealed, so we'll test it today. If it breaks, then it's not good. If it doesn't, then it's good. No, I'm sorry, but the idea here is today they dry, the rice paper in the sun, right?
Yeah.
I guess that's not gonna happen. So like any good assignment or anything in photography, you're gonna have to adapt, for fun.
Is the boat coming to pick us up?
I hope so.
Does it look like...
The trip is so short, it just basically turns around. The boat goes out the middle, turns around.
This is our ferry, baby. Yeah, you guys are seeing the typical local Vietnamese.
So in this little village, we took a little ferry ride over. It was like 10 cents to come over here. It's only about an hour outside of Hanoi, not even. Anyway, the rain's crap. I'm gonna look for little details in here. If this was an actual assignment, I would be so stressed because it would be like having to explain this to my editor would suck. And what's nice is when I shoot for myself or go out and shoot for these sort of mini fake assignments or reviews, it's okay. I have to answer to you guys with bad photographs, but at least I can show you a video of how bad it rained and how the light sucked.
Why waiting for the rain?
Always you can find food. What have you found here?
Like what is you can call it the different kind of rice cake. So this is soft rice cake, and then they will wrap it with mushroom and some sort of protein.
Okay.
But for Justin, we'll just go vegan because
Old school way of doing it, huh? Yeah, sit here.
guys. Ten, 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 ten. Ten, 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 ten.
This is a cool feature about this camera. This little front dial here, you have little film emulation. So if you wanted to switch quickly to monochrome, which I just did, it's a black and white shot. It's heavy. It's pretty awesome. I also just switched lenses. I put this 12 to 45 zoom lens. It's kind of nice just for the situation like this. This gives me a little bit more.
Paper today, guys. No rice paper. It is like not raining. It's like pouring down.
Lightning in the background just happened there. We just finished up our weather-induced breakfast. Usually I don't eat till a little bit later, but we had the what we're here to photograph. So it's like using that rice paper here. They typically dry it around this area, leave it out. It's quite visual to shoot, but they're not drying it because of this weather, obviously. So we're now just wandering around the outskirts of the village, just looking for pictures. Breakfast was good, rice paper was good. It's a cool little village, but not a lot happening. So we'll have to come back on a sunny day. So far with the camera, I like it. I like the tactile buttons on it. I'm using the different lenses. I'm mainly drawn to prime lenses, so I'm using their fixed 17, but they do have their zoom lens and also have a fixed 45, which is more like an 85. I might test that out, but as you can see, not much to shoot, not much happening, but still gonna explore a little bit before we head back and try to get something. So after a rainy morning in a little rice paper village, we made our way out to about another 2 hours with traffic included outside of Hanoi to an incense village. And this place is very vibrant. It's interesting. There's a mix here of places that are set up for photographs and some places that are actually authentic and make incense for people to buy. And the process and the photography and the story behind this is fascinating to me because I've been coming to these places for years and I've seen how they are naturally, and I see how they're sort of portrayed in photographs. And I've even seen some pictures like this, like wind Nat Geo competitions and other journalism competitions, like, and basically what they're doing is they're like coming here with a model and staging the incense to make it like really clean and like great for patterns, great for photography, and just taking these photographs that are supposed to meant to be the reality. And in fact, it's not. Like, these places do exist, but this is not how they're organized. These aren't the outfits they wear. And then some photographers even bring their models. Now, nothing against that, really. I mean, I think if you want to have your photo taken here, cool. If you want to take a pretty photo, also cool. But should those pictures be winning competitions, and should they be published in competitions that are based on like journalism or even a hint of journalism? No, absolutely not, because they're quite staged. I mean, look here. There's like a whole system built. It's just kind of what everything wrong in photography, or at least in like competition photography, is this copy and paste mentality. Again, not knocking the businesses, not knocking the people that want just to have their photo taken in a pretty atmosphere, but knocking that these are winning competitions. So if you're a judge in any of these competitions and you see a photograph of someone like organizing incense in Vietnam and they're wearing a traditional ao dai, no, they wouldn't wear that. And it's like staged perfectly, the patterns, no, it's not typically like that. But look at this place, like ladders everywhere, you pay a fee, there's conical hats you can pick up here, hats, wardrobe, ladders, it's all just staged for you. So I guess while we're here, I'll take some photographs fake, and I'll take some real ones. We'll go try to find a real place and take some photographs as well. But like I'll take a couple little, like, we'll call them mock shots here, what you used to be able to get, or fake travel shots, just so you can see what I'm talking about. So if you want to take a fake bad photograph, climb up the ladder, you pay the ticket, you put a person in outside there, you shoot down, and you get your shot. Okay, so we're gonna put someone there.
So, this is the incense village, guys. We are here. For me, I don't see much. It's sad. I mean, like, there's a lot of opportunities for staging good photos, but that's it. Over there is Justin with a sugar cane, and then over here is me with a sugar cane. Guys, Vietnamese, we love this. Sweet sugar from a tree, and then with just ice. I will show you guys. You see that? All the sugar canes over there? Yes, and then it comes into this. Very refreshing, good for the humid, hot Vietnamese weather.
I'm back home now after a brutal weather day with this bad boy here, and I have to say it held up well in that terrible weather, although I didn't bring it out in the pouring rain. I used it in the light rain, and it held up just fine. And just when the weather finally started to clear up at the incense village, it was lunchtime, and lunchtime in Vietnam means no one is getting anything done. Just the way it is here. So not a fruitful day for images, but it was a fun day with my wife. It was fun to take you guys along with me and show you parts of Vietnam. There's all sorts of little adventures like this just outside of Hanoi, even within Hanoi, and that's why I love this country so much. All right, so here's my breakdown. I'm not going to talk about specs compared to other cameras. I'm just going to tell you my thoughts on it and who I think it might work well for. So it's a beautiful retro style, fun camera to use. I had a blast using it. And it has a few clever tricks up its sleeve, which is refreshing. You don't really see that anymore in cameras. I see it competing directly with the likes of Fuji's similar offerings, maybe even the Leica Q for those of you that don't want to break the bank. One of my favorite things about this camera was the quick little button here that you can switch between different film emulations. I don't know if other camera companies do this, but if they don't, I guarantee they will rip this off because it's just such a cool idea. It's just fast. If I want to switch to a black and white setting like I did while I was photographing in that village, I can just very quickly. And then it seems like something little, but it wasn't. It was quite satisfying to use it that way. Some people might be turned off by the Micro Four Thirds 20 megapixel sensor, but I think that's ridiculous. I shoot for global publications and commercial clients, and 20 megapixels is plenty. And this sensor size is fine for like 99% of people out there, even a lot of pros, even most pros. I really enjoyed the experience using this camera. That's something that matters to me a lot. I enjoyed the feel in my hand. I enjoyed the buttons. I enjoyed the tactileness of the buttons. I enjoyed the weight of the camera. I liked having it around my neck. I like having it with me. Those things are extremely important to someone like me who likes to take their camera with them everywhere. They sent me 3 lenses to use with this camera, a fixed 17, which is the equivalent of like a 35, which that was my favorite. And just because it's tiny, it's a focal length that's familiar to me, and I just think it suits this camera well, keeps it small, keeps it fun to use. I also used the camera a little bit on Block Island. I did a day trip when I was back in Rhode Island and went out for the day, shot around there. I enjoyed using it there as well. It's a fun, travel-y type camera to have with you. I want to be able to pick up the camera, use it easily without having any major complications in the menu system. I want it to be intuitive. Flip up screen was really nice. Menu system was really nice. The feel in your hand was great. It held up well in the bad weather. All those things are important to me. I don't care that it's a lower megapixel camera. I don't care that it might not have some features that other cameras might have. It doesn't matter to me. I liked the battery held up really well. Focusing was spot on. Handling was excellent. It's a great camera. A couple things I didn't like about it was initially it's quite hard to find the ISO setting. That was a bummer to me. That was a miss for me because I just feel like it should be easy to find the ISO. And I think on a film type camera, I'd love for these companies to just commit to it, like commit to a minimalist approach, like Leica does with like an M10D or Leica does with their M series. It's just very, very simple. Not a lot of crazy customizations, too many buttons. I think this is just a little bit too much, a couple too many buttons. I'd like them to just simplify this camera, but I know not everyone's like me and people like having all that customization. It's just not for me. I wish the ISO was easier to find. I think there's a way to like pull up one dial and do it, but I did it digitally on the screen and that was fine, but I just didn't like doing it that way. I'd rather have a dedicated knob that's easy to find. Another thing that's just small, not a deal breaker for me, but was just the highlighted areas on the menu system was like this neon green. Not sure if you can change that, but I don't like that color. I would have preferred like a blue or something like that. I don't know, the neon green I just didn't dig it. I'd say overall, who's this camera for? I'd say it's for a lot of different people. I'd say this camera is perfect for the question I get asked the most in private from friends or friends of friends is, I'm getting into photography, my son or daughter's getting into photography, what camera should I buy them? I think this would be a very easy recommendation. It's a kit that you can take in many different directions. You could just buy the fixed 17, have like a 35mm style camera. You could buy some of the zoom lenses. You could grow into that. And it won't bankrupt you. The lenses are affordable and they're nice build quality, and the same with the camera system. It's $2,000 with the camera only. It's a good amount of money, but you get a lot and you get a fun camera to use. But if you get caught up worrying about sensor size and megapixels, you're focused on the wrong part of photography. And I think that's not what this camera is for. Those specs are overblown. Even most pros, like I said, don't need more than 20 megapixels. I also think this is a great camera for pros or people who have like a full-on work kit that also want a personal or travel camera. Get this setup. You'll be happy. And you don't have to be like everyone else with their Fuji gear and even overpriced Fuji now. You can stand out a little bit with this camera. I'd say it's on par with a lot of the Fuji offerings. And while it can't compete with Leica and it's not going to win my heart over and replace my Leica setup, I can see this working for plenty of people out there that don't want to go bankrupt, don't want to break the bank investing in an entire Leica system. I would prefer to keep it, not send it back. I like it. I would use this. It has a nice weight quality, doesn't feel flimsy. I feel like the Fuji feels a little bit more flimsy than this, is a little bit bigger. This definitely has a more of a retro style and has a nice balance between build quality but not being too heavy and also fitting nice in your hands. It's a fun camera to use. Again, I think a lot of people will be happy with this camera. It's a great system. It's a system not enough people, I think, are talking about. So I like it, and I'm interested, and I'll keep following them to see what they create next. Fun camera to use. I appreciate OM Systems for sending me this. It's been a fun process here. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll put a affiliate link in the description box below if you're interested in this camera, but again, don't buy anything if you don't need it. I'm not a camera pusher. I just tell you my take on things, how I might like to use it, and how I might think you like to use it, but look around, shop around, check around, do your research before you just listen to one person. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to check out my online store where I have workshops throughout Vietnam. I have one in December in Central Vietnam. A few slots left. Just had someone sign up today, so I think I have 2 slots left for that workshop. Check out that all-inclusive workshop, or if you can't make this trip all the way out here, although I can't see why you wouldn't after I did that hard sell on Vietnam. Check out my one-on-one classes. I have hour sessions, month-long coaching and mentorship programs, all sorts of different offerings on there for anyone that wants to improve in their photography. Check all that out and more at askmott.com. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and don't forget to have a wonderful day.